This is a review of the Ultimate Survival Library application. In this video I'm going to cover the first tab, the Settings tab. There's some key settings you need to have that are required in essence for you to be able to use this application. The first two are the most important. The first one is the Files to be Processed folder. The idea behind this is you place all of your documents, no matter the format, that are supported by the application, which we'll see later. You put all those documents in one folder. You can call that folder whatever you want. In my case here, I called it to be processed to keep things clear. And then you basically select that folder that you created with the documents with this button here. The second setting works in conjunction with that. In my case, I called it the Survival Library folder, and basically it starts out empty. So what happens is, as you progress through these next two tabs, you process these folders, files in this folder, and in essence you convert them to PDFs, and then once you've converted them, you will index them with the third tab, and once they're indexed, you'll be able to search the files. Meanwhile though, they've been moved from this folder into the Survival Library folder, or whatever you call yours, and they'll be ready to search at that point. The third entry here is your license key. If you don't have a license for the application, it will limit you to searching, indexing, and converting 10 files at a time, or actually 10 files total. So you want to go ahead, if you can, get a license for it so that you can go ahead and remove this limit. And if it is licensed, it'll tell you here. If it is not licensed, it will say unlicensed in red right here. The next folder is the setup folder. When you first downloaded the application and you ran it, whatever folder that was that you ran it from, you need to put that path in here by using the select button here. And that setting, in conjunction with the check for newer version setting, will automatically update the application as I release new versions and new features and new links. All of those will be automatically updated if you have these settings set. If you choose to not update this on a regular basis, you can check this box off and it won't even check for it. But I highly recommend that you do, because once we get to the other tabs, you'll see that there's a lot of links and features that you will get if you keep this up to date, and I'll be adding things as we go along. The last setting here on this particular screen is the default dark mode color, and that is simply, as I've been using the application myself in the dark. I tend to work in the dark when I code. This screen, while it was this color or even white, it's a little too bright, so I decided to set a color that will at least set this background piece, the biggest piece here, to a darker color. For example, right now it's set to dark mode to this color. You can use this button here to set the color, and up at the top there's a switch to dark mode button, which if you click it, it'll switch everything along all the tabs to a darker mode, just so that it doesn't look so bright if you do happen to work in the dark. If you don't like that, you can always switch it back to regular mode, and of course you can set this background color to whatever you like. The last thing I want to cover in this particular tab, even though it's not part of the tab, are these buttons at the top. You already seen what the dark mode button does. There's a button here that will allow you to report a bug. If you happen to run across a bug, it'll prompt you. If you click the button, if you want to send a bug, you'll say yes. I give you some information here. You can provide your email. In the case of reporting a bug, I strongly recommend you provide your email, because otherwise I have no way to reply to you or to ask you questions if you ran across a problem, and I may need more information in order to fix it. So as I say up here, I will never share or sell or in any way abuse the trust you give me with your email address. So I will not provide that to anyone. It stays solely in my use for reporting or replying to your reports. So then there's an attachment button you can attach. In particular, I give you some information here. There's two files in this path that are log files. They're error log files, and if you ever run into an error or some kind of issue, I'm asking that you basically attach the files using this attach button. You can open them before you send them to me so that you can see that there's nothing private in there at all. It's purely about the application and the issue it may have run into. So this is the instructions for that, and basically you just click send. If you don't want to provide your email address, you can choose to leave it blank and click send anyway. It will still send me the email, but I do recommend you do that in case I do have any questions. The next button over is a suggestion button, and basically is if you'd like to suggest any new feature or anything that you think might make the application better, you can just simply type it in here, and you don't even need to provide your email address for that. Just send me the suggestion, and if it's something I think the application and the other users of the application can benefit from, I'll definitely try to get it in there. The next button over is the purchase button. That simply opens up another a page in your web browser that takes you to the purchase site, so you can buy a license for the software. And the last one is just simply to send me an email on any topic, anything you're interested in or anything that you want to know. You can just click here and do the same thing and send it that way. So that's a quick review of everything in the first tab, the settings tab of the Ultimate Survival Library. I'll be covering every one of the remaining tabs in further videos. See you then.